Johnson here for Financial Self-Defense. I've had a few questions since my first video, so I wanted to back up a little bit and start with some basics. All of these different benefits that the Canadian government has very nicely set out, the government has to make sure that the people who are getting all these benefits are who have challenges that affect their life enough that it limits what they can do. So, to that end, where you have to start with the new Canada Disability benefit I talked about last time, and especially the ones that I talk about a lot, Registered Disability Savings Plan, right here. The big important part we have to start with is how you go about getting into these programs, and they pretty much all depend on you getting what's called the disability tax credit. Okay, so if you go in and just type in Canadian disability tax credit, it'll bring up DTC is what they call it for short. It'll take you under the Canada's taxes, tax credits and benefits, obviously. So this is what you need to have in order to qualify for most of the programs. Processing times, unfortunately, are really slow right now, but they have to get doctors to review it and so on and so forth. It is a non-refundable tax credit that helps people reduce their income tax so that they get more money back because they know it's more expensive when you have extra challenges. The nice thing is, if you are approved, they will actually go back in time up to 10 years. I'm trying to keep these videos under 5 minutes, so I'm not going to go into all the details, but there's a section on the same things I was talking about, how to claim it, the other benefits, and who is eligible. The who is eligible, this is kind of what I want to talk first about. There's all different options, and there can be a combination, okay? So I'm going to talk about this one right here, because this is one of the ones that a lot of people fall under, because not everything's the same when you have a disability. There's always different limitations. So I love this video. I highly recommend going to check it out. If someone always has to take a long time to walk and to dress, and it takes quite a bit longer than average, then they may be eligible, even if they don't specifically meet the criteria for being unable to care for themselves entirely. So there are some checklists in here, and they give you a good idea. What basically has to happen, if you are planning on applying, no matter what reason, mental, physical, whatever disability, what you have to do is apply and fill out the application form. Now, one thing that is very nice and didn't used to be around was that now you can get more than just your doctor to fill out the form. So doctors and nurse practitioners can do everything. Optometrists, obviously, vision, hearing, occupational therapists, walking, feeding, dressing. For example, I have had clients who have autism and they're high enough to look after themselves in certain ways, but they cannot live on their own. So they don't qualify under their medical specialist, but the occupational therapist has a different set of evaluations. So that is very nice that they have other options as well. So physiotherapists, psychologists, speech language, they've really expanded out to make it better for people who have to have a little more complex disabilities. You can apply whenever you want, but if you do at the same time as when you do your taxes, it's going to slow you down, right? So there's two ways. There's a digital form or the paper form. The paper form, I like to at least do that ahead of time as much as I can to help the doctors out so that they can know which year to look back on for if you had a car accident or if you had a date of diagnosis, and then they can check in their forms. The first part is filled out by the person with disability or their legal representative, and then it has to go to the practitioner to complete Part B. It goes into how they assess patients, and then you submit it. It is possible for the medical practitioner to submit it automatically, but quite often what I find works better is if the legal guardian or the person applying has a copy of it themselves and uploads it to the CRA themselves, which I'll go over in another video, by signing into their My CRA account. The reason I recommend that is if there's any questions, they will still go talk to your doctor, but at least you have a copy of it, so if somewhere it gets mixed up, then you can just resubmit it. All right, so that's just a quick overview. This is where you start. If you are looking for any of the benefits that I discussed in my last video, this is where you have to start on the disability tax credit. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.